on a super fast course like this.
There was a dismount there for Vantura. Now look at the pressure, though, from Eli Isabet on the front of this chasing group behind. He wants to assure a 1-2 here for Pau Sousen Bingo. That bike dancing up and down that bank there. Isabet doing that familiar, that famous one-legged pedal that he does. Just dabs that left foot, keeps the power down with his right foot. Van der Haar not letting Isabet out of his sights. Visura closes back up as well.
Yeah, Isabet is so good at doing that little pedal and scoot at the same time. He's really mastered that well, but he did lose a bit of momentum at the top of that bank, just going over the little hill, and that's where these other riders, when you've got your feet in, you're able to apply the power a little bit longer. Yeah, it's really, everyone's suffering. You can see everyone having to get out of the saddle to really get to the back of that group.
Back to Jumbo Visma on the front, so it's just swinging backwards and forwards between the various members of that chasing group, but still in contention. You would say the riders that are not far off the back of this one, but Visura, Van der Haar, Isabet definitely look the strongest contenders for the podium.
At this point, I think Van der Haar actually looks like the strongest. He wasn't there at the beginning of the race, but he didn't have to waste any energy. He still looks like he's one of the strongest. It looks like Isabet is playing more tactics today than actually driving the race, but that could mean that he has one really, really fast race lap left in him.
So at the end of that previous lap, Michael Vantura will come around this time and get one lap to go. Let's run you through who is where. He's a bit doing toe macking through that off camber. It was Michael Vantura out. The gap came back very slightly at the end of that lap to Lars Van der Haar. It's now Jumbo Visma leading that chasing group with Eli Isabet and Lars Van der Haar. Toon Aerts, Laurens Sweeck, Toon van den Bos, Vitse Musen, Niels van der Pudder and Ward Hoops is your top 10. But you can see a gap there from the green and whites of Vitse Musen to the blue colours of Niels van der Putter. Just outside your top 10 is Jordi Corses at 52 seconds. You can just see him coming into your picture momentarily there. Victor van der Putter, Dan Suter, Thijs Aerts, Vincent Bastans, Cameron Mason, Kay de Bruckere, Gus van den Eyden and Mace Hendricks with Matisse Voets is your top 20 here. As we're going to come round and get one lap to go. You would say Victor is fairly assured at the moment. Michael Vantura just has to get safely through this final lap. Behind though, Visura, Isabet, Van der Haar and Aerts. As Lars Van der Haar, you can see that power steps on that power. Michael Vantura goes through the line. The clock starts ticking. The last lap this time. Visura, Isabet just tucked in. You can see the direction that the wind is coming. One lap to go, and they've got it back here. 22 seconds. They've pulled back 8 seconds that lap from Michael Vantura now.
Yeah, that shows that they have been playing around a little bit up until this point, because Van Toornout did a 6:38, which is exactly the same as what he did last time, only 1 second slower than the lap before.
Vantura now, though, we always say it, don't we? He's just got to get safely round this final lap.
Then we look at the lap times of Visura and Isabet. It was a 6:29, which is the fastest lap of the race so far. So they absolutely have one super fast lap in them, and that is what Isabet is about to put in now.
For your lap times, Visura just loses a fraction over the top of that bank. So your lap times that time. So Michael Vantura was 6:38, Jumbo Visma 6:29, Eli Isabet 6:29, Toon Aerts 6:27, and a 6:35 for Lars Van der Haar. Two-wheel drift there, smoking hot by Jumbo Visma. Isabet is pushing Visura to the limit here.
Yeah, this is what he's been saving himself for, this final lap of waiting and waiting and waiting until he got a group down to a small enough group that he was able to just put in a killer lap. And I guess he really has been able to save himself. We're going to see that again. He just so much speed that his back wheel slides out, but he's able to drop a foot and keep upright. And a lesser rider would not have been able to keep that straight.
Nicely done by the former under-23 world champion, Jumbo-Visma. Van der Haar and Art's former teammates locked in that battle for 4th place. Elisabeth looking to go 1-2 here for Pau Sals and Bingo. Visura's got some work to do. He'll be looking to try and force an error by keeping the pressure on Elisabeth ahead of him. Michael Van Torenhout just dismounts, takes those steps 2 at a time.
Yeah, Van Torenhout's run a really solid race at this point. He's just consistently been good. He hasn't had to deal with any of that stop-start that's gone in the group behind, attacks and slowing down again and things like that. And yeah, he's just ridden so solid. But these riders behind, he has really been helped a lot by Elisabeth today. And he knows that. They work together a lot. They help each other a lot. And Michael deserves his opportunity as much as Elisabeth does. And he takes them when he can. But yeah, I think he'll be doing a lot of work for Elisabeth tomorrow.
Yeah. It always interesting, though, when we get to see the way you can use team tactics in cyclocross.
It's very interesting because it's very rare that we actually get the opportunity to use them. A course like this, you just see Visura there having to jump off because he didn't quite get the right line. And Elisabeth is just nailing every single section super fast. A course like this, which has a lot more straights, which has a lot more sections where you can just get in front and slow other riders down, like that sand bit before the finish, there is one line. And if there's one line, you can control the pace. And also, in a muddy course, then it's all about your own power. It's much more of an individual race. It has to be a fast race in order to control the peloton a little bit, but when they get to these races, these two know exactly how to work for each other.
The Belgian champ will be getting roared around this course. Behind him, Jumbo-Visma's under pressure here from Toon Aerts. Making his return to racing today is this man from the Schachtensmaas Containers, coming back from that doping ban. This is his first race back. And the air horns from the crowd. Elisabeth wants this 2nd place here. Visura has been on really putting in some fast lap times in this race.
This is going to be a tight battle for 3rd spot. And the minute it looks like Aerts is actually slightly stronger, Visura's done a lot of work in today's race. He's really been the only one that's gone to the front to try and get back Van Torenhout. He's made moves on his own. But Aerts is looking super strong.
Back to our leader. And great power, great speed today. There's that little drop down there, isn't there? Really carrying a lot of speed. Over the top of there is Michael Van Torenhout, and finishing his season in great fashion. He's just got these final couple of turns through the sand for him behind. His teammate has managed to distance the group behind, and Toon Aerts has made contact now with Jumbo-Visma. Is this going to be the dream return here for Toon Aerts and himself to come back and take a podium straight away? Back to our leader, though, and a great season he is having. This is going to be a real sprint, and Lars van der Haar is almost back onto this group as well. Can the Dutchman make contact and make it a 3-up sprint between this group? Michael Van Torenhout, though, our winner is assured. As our chasers behind, it is the 4th win of the season for Michael Van Torenhout of Pau Sals and Bingo. Takes this one ahead of teammate Elisabeth. Elisabeth comes home for second. Arts and Van der Haar. Is Van der Haar going to come through and nick the podium? He is. Van der Haar takes third. Toon Aerts takes fourth. Joran Visura absolutely spent behind the Creelan-Corridon rider. And Niels van der Putte comes home, but it is a 1-2 for the teammates. Oh, man down. Our cameraman, hope he's all right. Man down, everybody.
Yeah, that was a brilliant sprint finish there by Lars van der Haar. He clearly has something ready for tomorrow. And I felt he was stronger at points in the race, so he obviously had something left. He was able to come back to those two ahead of him and just jump around at the end. You've got to feel for Visura because he was so strong in that race. He was really good. Arguably he was one of the strongest, but he just wasn't tactically able to put it together to get that podium spot.
So Toon van Bos, Wittemeers and Laurenswijk. Ward Hoops comes in for 10th. That is your top 10. 1 minute and 11 seconds down for the Bauweiser Trek Lions rider. Victor van der Putte comes home in 11th. Jordi Corsus of Pausaus Bingo comes